Night Owl begins. In the bustling city of Michigan, shadows stretched long under the fading twilight. High above the city streets, a figure perched on a rooftop, clad in an outfit that blazed like fire against the darkening sky. A red beanie hugged his head, contrasting sharply with the white skeleton mask that concealed his identity. His shirt, a brilliant red with a bold yellow lightning bolt emblazoned across the chest, gleamed with a metallic sheen, catching the last rays of the setting sun. Red gloves, pants, and boots completed his ensemble, a striking vision in the urban landscape. This was Mr. Night Owl, once known simply as Remy Raven. At 17, he had taken up the mantle of a vigilante, driven by a burning desire to cleanse his city of the vile predators lurking in the shadows. Tonight marked the beginning of his journey, the night he would confront his first and most loathsome target, Stephen Yacht. Yacht, a 32-year-old man, had been preying on vulnerable children, his latest victim a mere 15-year-old girl. The very thought made Remy's blood boil. Through the dimly lit streets, Mr. Night Owl moved with stealth and precision. His keen eyes, a piercing green behind the mask, scanned every corner, every alley. He had tracked Yacht for weeks, learning his habits, his haunts. Tonight, Yacht would pay for his monstrous deeds. In the heart of the city, a dingy bar served as Yacht's regular hunting ground. Mr. Night Owl had chosen this place for their confrontation, knowing the layout and the potential for collateral damage. He wouldn't let any innocents get caught in the crossfire. Inside the bar, the atmosphere was thick with smoke and the stench of cheap alcohol. Yacht sat at the bar, a lecherous grin on his face as he chatted up a young girl who looked far too uncomfortable. Remy's grip tightened around the metal baton he carried, his primary weapon in this fight for justice. With a swift motion, Mr. Night Owl entered the bar, his presence immediately drawing attention. The patrons stared, wide-eyed, at the red-clad figure that seemed almost superhuman. Ignoring the murmurs and gasps, he walked straight toward Yacht. Yacht barely had time to react before Mr. Night Owl was upon him. The first strike of the baton landed with a sickening thud, sending Yacht sprawling off his stool. The bar fell silent, every eye fixed on the unfolding confrontation.
You disgust me. You think you can get away with being alone, preying around on children?
Yacht scrambled to his feet, rage and fear mingling in his eyes. "Who the hell are you?" he spat, trying to regain his composure. "I'm your worst nightmare," Mr. Night Owl replied, his voice cold and steady. He lunged forward, his movements a blur as he delivered a series of blows that left Yacht reeling. Desperation drove Yacht to draw a knife, but Mr. Night Owl was ready. With a swift kick, he sent the knife skittering across the floor. He grabbed Yacht by the collar, lifting him effortlessly and slamming him against the wall. "This is for every child you've hurt," Mr. Night Owl hissed. "You will never harm another soul." With a final decisive blow, Yacht crumpled to the ground, unconscious. Mr. A. Night Owl stood over him, his chest heaving, the adrenaline coursing through his veins. He glanced around the bar, meeting the eyes of the stunned patrons. "Call the police," he instructed one of the bartenders. "Tell them they've got a predator to lock up." As he turned to leave, the bar erupted in whispers and murmurs of awe and disbelief. Mr. Night Owl stepped out into the cool night air, the weight of his actions settling on his shoulders. This was just the beginning. There were more monsters to hunt, more children to save. The night was his to protect, and he would stop at nothing to ensure that justice was served.